Oh, hey there, it's me, Pen, and in this episode of Paper Peculiar, I'll be starting work on a junk journal part 2. My first video here on YouTube was a flip through the original junk journal, a collage based, tab bound, interactive journal that I made as a gift for a friend. The link to the flip through is below. Well, her mother was visiting and happened to see it. Apparently, she spent quite a bit of time looking through it, and my friend later asked if I would make one for her as well. Of course, I said yes. This friend is constantly saving papers, packaging, maps, and all sorts of bits and pieces for me instead of throwing them away, so making a journal for her mother seemed like the least I could do. Since her mother is from Quebec, my friend requested I add some French flavor, so I took that to heart and gave this journal a totally French theme. I've used lots of imagery from France and Paris throughout the collage work, and on the reverse side of the collage pages, I've used a road map of Quebec. As it turns out, that map was actually given to me by my friend. She'd forgotten all about it until I showed her the pages I'd prepared. For today's video, I've already prepared most of the components. I'll be sharing the collage pages that form the structure of the journal, some of the interactive elements I've made, and how I create the tabs before I assemble everything. The main structure of the journal starts, as a lot of my journals do, with a brown Amazon packaging envelope. Not the padded kind, but this type, the heavier paper envelope. I begin by covering one side with book pages and then building up layers of collage on top. On the reverse side, I've used Quebec road maps. Once everything is dry, I cut the shapes out. By that point, the pages almost feel like wood. They're surprisingly sturdy. After that, I sew around all the pages, and I also cut some of the collage into tags that can be used throughout the journal. These get sewn around as well. For the cover, I specifically cut one of the pages a little smaller. I'm going to attach this little flip-out booklet to the front, and tucked inside is an old family photograph that my friend shared with me, which I've aged even further. She also provided a photocopy of a recipe that her mother used to make quite often. One of the things I love about it is that the photocopy captured all the little spills and the splatters and the drips that accumulated over the years. To me, those marks tell just as much as the story as the recipe itself, especially since her mother didn't even like the lemon cheesecake. She only made it for the family. It's these kinds of personal touches that I think will make this journal especially meaningful. Now, onto the tabs that will bind this journal. In previous videos, I used washi tape, glued down to paper for strength. For this journal, I went through my washi stash and just couldn't find a design I felt fit well with this journal. I also didn't like the look of material tabs from materials I have. I tried one test and it looked like used bandages, and I was like, no. So I decided I was going to design my own washi tape. That's not really washi tape because it's not sticky or Japanese paper, and in fact, it's not washi tape at all. So again, no. It's regular printer paper that I printed my designs on and glued to packaging paper for flexibility and strength. I also used my thrifted Mod Podge, a very light coating on the tabs to add strength. I used my pinking shears to cut out a nice shape, and I love how the tabs look, so I'm hoping they look as good when I glue them to the pages. Now that I've shown you all that I've prepared, it's finally time to start binding the main structure and pages of the journal. I begin with selecting which pages will go where. Since the pages are all different sizes, I like to stack them first and make sure I have a balance of large, medium, and small pages throughout the journal. It usually takes me 2 or 3 tries till I settle on a layout I like. Here is the potential order for the pages. Nothing is set in stone, but I like to imagine how someone might experience the journal as they flip through it. Of course, there's a good chance I'll change my mind about something as I go along, but this is my starting point. With the page order decided, it's time to move on to the tab binding. This is probably the most important part of the entire process because it's surprisingly easy to glue a tab onto the wrong side of a page. Believe me, I know. Before I glue anything down, I like to line the pages up and double check the placement. Once I'm sure everything is facing the right direction, I glue the tab onto one page first and then attach it to the next page. It's not difficult, but it does require paying attention. One tab in the wrong place can completely change how the journal opens and flips. I do have a separate video where I walk through the tab binding process step by step. So if you'd like a more detailed explanation, I'll leave a link in the description below. For now, I'm going to keep working my way through the pages and start bringing this journal together. I'm normally crafting on the weekend since we work during the week, so hubby and I are in the same room together since we like being with each other. I do my crafting and he does his own thing. I normally use a mic and edit out background sounds, but I thought I would leave our conversations in for your entertainment pleasure.
Get him, puppy. Yeah, you get him.
So rude of them.
Well, it's been out all day. It's out when we were taking stuff to the backyard.
I mean, it's nice for the dog to be
He
outside.
hates it.
No, I'm sure he doesn't. It's nice to be outside.
Anytime somebody moves by, he barks at them.
He barks whenever someone goes by. Protecting his little area from all the evildoers.
Now it's time to gather all the tags, text spots, journaling cards, and other little bits of ephemera I've prepared along the way. I'll start deciding where everything belongs and make this journal fun to explore. Well, everything is finally in place. This journal has been a lot of fun to put together, especially knowing who it's for and the story behind it. I always enjoy the building process, but the final flip through is where everything comes together. So let's take a look through Junk Journal Part 2 and see how it came together. I hope you enjoyed following along as I put this journal together. I always really enjoy putting collage journals together, and this one was especially enjoyable. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.